So now let's go ahead and take a look at the second topic here, which is actually a fairly simple topic, solving equations for a given variable. Now there's nothing intended to be super difficult about this particular topic here, but it is again going to be something that's of importance in the upcoming sections. We need to be able to take a look at an equation, maybe say something like what's here in 2a, and actually attempt to solve this equation for a given variable. Well, if I take a look here at 2a specifically, we can see that if I'm starting with the equation 3y squared times a z minus an 8yz equals a 5x to the fourth plus a 12x cubed. Now I need to obviously identify what I'm trying to solve for. And here it says that I'm trying to solve for the variable of z. Now of course what that means is that after I do a bunch of work, I want to get to something that says z equals, and on this side I want to end up with a bunch of stuff that's ultimately without the value of z, right? So to have z solved for, it needs to be on its own side, can't have any z's on the other side of the equation. So how am I going to do this? Well, one of the primary things that we can actually make note of here is that if I have multiple terms that contain the variable that I want to solve for, it is very advantageous to move all of those terms to one side of the equation, and then I can actually factor out a copy of that term. This is a very important thing to recall. You've probably dealt with it in the past, but as we start to use this skill in calculus, the things that we're going to be solving for in this next set of sections are going to look a little messier. And sometimes people tend to forget that they can actually just take something like this value of z and factor it out. Notice that once that's done, it's pretty easy to get z by itself by just dividing both sides by everything that we have in those parentheses. So I'm going to go ahead here and I'll just have this 3y squared minus 8y show up in my denominator. And so notice that I'm done. I do have z equals a bunch of stuff without z. And so I know that I'm completely good to go. Okay, so this is really all that number 2 is about. And again, I'm going to leave parts B and C for you to try to practice with, just to make sure that you feel comfortable in being able to work out problems with this particular skill requirement.